Hey, how's it going, guys? This is ZDEyE here. So today I wanted to, kind of have a little bit of an update regarding of my channel and what's happening, what's going to be happening next, and going to the future and present, of course. So basically, I wanted to mention first of all what's been happening with me and where am I kind of disappearing, more or less often enough. Basically, if you have noticed already, if you're, say a supporter of mine, maybe you're a subscriber of mine, maybe you will be expecting videos out of me daily, or at least to some extent daily, and you notice that I don't do that any longer. One thing's for sure, well, there's actually a few reasons, but one of them is the amount of topics that I could be talking about. And yes, there are topics I could give you out of my head. I have already 3 topics in mind that I could definitely be talking about at the moment. Let me give you an example. One of them is an example. Immortals Fenyx Rising, I'm actually playing it right now. I've begun playing about 3 days ago, and I'm having a blast with the game. I could definitely make my first impressions, but there's an incentivization is the issue. I don't think it's the motivation, because I do have the motivation, because look at this, I'm making a video about this right now, so I do have the motivation. But the thing, I think it's just that I'm finding excuses of not doing these videos. It's not it's not because of the motivation, but I think it's because maybe I got so fatigued or maybe burned out. That could be also a possibility, but again, like I mentioned, motivation is still here, so I don't know. Every day I'm just like going up on YouTube, going up on Twitter. Well, if you guys did not know, my Twitter was live. For some reason, I could not access it for 3 weeks. Seriously, it was ridiculous, and it was so bad. Twitter team never responded back, but for some odd reason, I very recently finally got my access to it, and it's finally working. So I'm just so glad about that. I can watch so many news feeds and stuff about gaming and stuff like that through the Twitter, because I do usually do it, well, more than I admit to. And anyway, so basically, like I mentioned, there is Immortals Fenyx Rising. I could have been talking about in this video, particularly if I wanted to. Maybe I could make it tomorrow's video or the day after that. Then I have a second topic I could definitely talk about. Situation regarding CD Projekt Red, Jason Schreier article, Cyberpunk 2077, exposing it, blah blah blah. But the thing is, I'm looking at it and I'm just like, it's so oversaturated. It's overblown to hell at this point. It's like beating around the dead horse or whatever to call it. And you see, like, I don't want to make a video about this only bashing on the game that everyone has already done now. And yet there's an exposing thing that has just recently happened because Jason Schreier, because he's, it makes sense. It's his job, is what he likes to do. And the developers have actually reached out to him, or he reached out to them, and they have talked about what's been happening in the development or behind the curtains of the Cyberpunk 2077. There's just been talks regarding that this game should have been coming out 2022, not 2020. Everything was rushed to hell. CD Projekt Red lied to us, blah blah blah. You see what I mean? It's just so freaking negative. I feel like after making these sort of videos, and if I would be making these videos, I would be so depressed about this sort of thing. I don't understand how people manage to do this so often than not. Being disappointed by a game is one thing, but being disappointed by a game that you were expecting so much of and already been proven to you time and time again that they're fantastic developers and studio. CD Projekt Red is still considered one of the higher tiers of developers, and the studio I should say. But yet, after the release of Cyberpunk, their reputation just dwindled completely. And a lot of reasons to this, I'm just like, do I really want to make this sort of video and bash on them more than they already have been bashed on by the rest of the people? You see what I mean? Even though a lot of you may say, oh, well, you could make a video about this anyway. Who gives a shit, as an example. But that's the thing, no one gives a shit. You see what I mean? Maybe I'm just trying to make my videos a little bit more professional. That's why I don't do daily and stuff like that. I have a third topic in my head as well, and that's actually regarding the news of the Resident Evil Village. There's an availability for anyone that wants to sign up for the closed beta. By the way, I do highly encourage you to do so, but I definitely want to mention it's quite difficult to sign up. There's so many things you need to go through, like Capcom ID and stuff like that to sign up. It's ridiculous. I'm just barely managed it. I was trying to do this thing for an hour. It was ridiculous. But I did manage to sign up, so I'm glad about that. So on the 21st, there will be a reveal of the Resident Evil gameplay, Village, I meant to say, gameplay, and also the trailer, the availability for us to experience the game, as I have mentioned, the closed beta. You see, there are topics to talk about, but I don't think it's necessarily that interesting to be talking about. Look, I'll be reporting news that is going to be relevant in how many days? About 3 days from now, right? Because today's the 18th, and when I'm uploading this video and when perhaps you're watching it, that all depends too. Well, not depends, because I definitely will be uploading this on the 18th, but depends when you're watching this video. And as such, like, you know, I could definitely make a video, but I don't want to make it so that will be a news irrelevant after 3 days. Now, again, don't get me wrong. It's not as if I have not done this before, because I have done this time and time again. Anything that's news or worthwhile, I'll definitely be talking about it, and then I'll be publishing it as quickly as possible, you know, to be one of the first people out on the web search. So obviously you'll gain the viewership, a lot more, you know, eyes basically to your channel and to your videos. It's understandable, you know, it's always a competition between other people and the rest of the people, and who does the best, who does the quickest, and the amount of time that's working, and of course daily uploads, if not maybe perhaps at least one video a week. Again, that depends. But also I've been watching so many of these videos, such as like a documentary that people are seriously into making videos in heavily edited styles, professionally scripted, and very, very well done videos overall. Like, I'm kind of tending towards to go with that approach, but yet that my issue with that is because I don't want to make videos that I will be only be doing sort of heavy edited videos, right? If that makes sense, right? Because like that takes time, that takes a lot of you know, effort. But also it's not because I'm lazy, but it's also because I got my own things that I need to prioritize on the other hand. So I can't be publishing and making these videos like heavily edited daily, because that's not exactly a viable choice, at least not for me and in my life, if that makes any sense. Look, I've got a job, I've got well, I do game. That's another thing. Gaming takes a lot of time as well. Sure, you could tell me, oh, well, stop playing games and make more edited styles, bigger videos then in this case. Good idea. I would have done that if I would have not done that. What does that mean? Anyway, basically, I would have done that already. And let me tell you, I have done that already. When there's a video game that I'm playing, and at the moment I'm playing Immortals Fenyx Rising, the game's pretty damn good too, I actually want to prioritize my time playing that game instead of editing the videos, if that makes sense. Because let me tell you, when there's no more games that I could play or no more games that I could platinum and as such, because I don't really go back and play my backlog games, like I instead would be kind of bored out of my mind, and I'm getting that motivation of wanting to make videos. And so I'm just like, oh man, this is why I truly am never bored. Like, at least I never admitted to myself or to anybody else, oh man, I'm so bored, I've got nothing to do. Because I always find something, at least for me, to do. If I'm bored of making videos, or maybe I'm burned out of it, I'll go watch a movie. I'll go find TV series. Yes, if there's not deadly shit to watch as well. So what do I do in this case? Well, in this case, I just find something that I have already watched and rewatch it again. Like yesterday night, I rewatched The Witcher Netflix show. Freaking fantastic show. Even though it's a little convoluted with the time lapse, like where everything is happening in what year, because it's so confusing. But yeah, but I love that show. It's amazing. And yeah, there's plenty of other things that could be done. I could be playing video games that I have played before. That actually is a lot more on a rare side though, because like I don't usually go back to video games I have already played and replay them again. Like especially the games that are platinumed, because if I platinum the game, I usually sell it off or I never get back to it, because I don't know, I feel like I have accomplished it. I've beaten the game completely, 100% of it as well, because platinum trophy kind of does go towards that route. And so I'm just like, okay, I've had enough, you know, that kind of feeling at least. And anyway, look, maybe I'm making excuses for myself, and maybe not, that's why I don't want to make these uploading videos and stuff like that. But I would definitely wanted to share regarding what's been happening during this time, and what's been happening in my mind, and why I really want to be making videos, and yet I just don't. Like, at the moment, my future plans and stuff like that. I'm actually working on 3 scripts that I want to make big videos out of. One of them is going to be coming as soon as possible. I cannot tell you exactly when. I'm thinking not a week will be necessary, to be honest with you. But I definitely have 2 more big videos coming in April. You might know what's happening in April, because it's going to be going towards the video games that I really, really like. But also, at the moment I'm editing, well, talk about editing. yeah, I'm I'm gonna have a bigger video out, and I don't know when that's gonna be happening. At least I think it will be coming in February. Yeah, that's more of a top 30 of my favorite games of all time. And that video is a lot bigger scale than I initially expected. The video is gonna be a little longer than 30 minutes, maybe up to 40 minutes even. And I decided to actually make it into parts. So 2 parts is gonna have, I'm gonna release them day after day, basically. You know, when the first part comes out, the next day will be the second part coming out. So that's what I decided to do. So this means, yes, I'll need even more time to be developing and editing that sort of a video. So as we're talking and including these 2 parts of videos of top 30 games of my favorite games of all time. So this means I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos planned for one for in a week, another one for February. I'm definitely gonna have something at least for March, 2 videos I'm gonna have for April. Like, I'm talking about not simple videos, I'm talking about very heavily edited videos. That's what exactly I'm talking about. Similar skills, if you wanna see what I'm talking about in sort of this edited styles, I've got a playlist. Look, I've got a playlist, there's more than 50 videos already made of my time being on YouTube. I seriously encourage you to check them all out. It's been a while since well, it's not been a while, but I know it's been quite a long time since I made these videos already. And also my last video was Cyberpunk review. I feel like that video was phenomenal, and I'm very, very happy with the results as well. Even though I'm not exactly happy with the viewership or amount of people who watch the videos, like, I'm only gaining up to 100 views right now, even though I uploaded that video like 3-4 days ago at this point. And so, yeah, clearly you can see that the video didn't actually do that well. Again, it's Cyberpunk, it's oversaturated. Review, again, that's oversaturated. So you see, you need to come up with ideas and titles that are not going to be exactly what everyone have already seen. At this point, since it's already, we're talking about in January, middle way of January, of course it's not many people would want to see again yet another different type of style of a review of Cyberpunk. You know what I mean? It's understandable. Everyone have heard already what they wanted to hear. But again, Cyberpunk in this case was a special case. And I wanted to make a review for it, and I did. And I talked about a lot about it, not just the in-game process, more about CD Projekt Red as well. So you see what I mean. I don't think particularly it's necessary for me to be bashing on CD Projekt Red with the decision makings that they have made with the game. See, there's a lot of things that could be valuables and stuff like that we need to be considering. It's a lot of bullshit. Yeah, anyway, I think I'm done rambling for today. Thank you so much for watching. A little bit of an update. Again, this video is not gonna do well, for sure. I don't think I'm gonna even reach 70 to 80 views for this video. It's not exactly particularly interesting for a lot of people, but I definitely think a lot of people will watch this that are at least like to listen to me ramble, or like to listen because of my voice, or like to listen because they support my channel, or maybe they just, you know, those particular people that just stumbled on this video completely accidentally. YouTube algorithm is a bit of a problem nowadays, of course, but again, that's not exactly what's giving me a push away from making videos. I do have the motivation, like I mentioned. Maybe I'm being lazy. I don't really think I'm lazy, but again, maybe I'm just being nowadays like I have this kind of a feeling. All right, thank you so much again. Like and subscribe. See you guys all, and have a wonderful day.